Settle gently into the comfort of your space, allowing your breathing to slow, to deepen, to find its own natural, effortless rhythm. The day, with all its demands and its noise, has finally come to an end, and you no longer need to hold on to any of it. Imagine the tension leaving your shoulders, melting away into the soft surface beneath you, as the world outside your window grows quiet and still. The sun has dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in deep, soothing shades of violet and midnight blue. There is nowhere else you need to be right now. Nothing else you need to do. Just rest. As you breathe in, imagine drawing in the cool, peaceful air of the night. And as you breathe out, release any lingering thoughts, any echoes of the busy hours that have passed. You are safe here, wrapped in the tranquil embrace of the evening, ready to drift into a state of deep, restorative calm. Think for a moment about the places we leave behind when the sun goes down, the spaces that hold our energy during the daylight hours. Imagine a city skyline, a forest of tall, quiet buildings made of glass and steel, standing silently under the watchful gaze of the moon. During the day, these buildings are hives of endless activity, filled with the sounds of ringing phones, the rhythmic clatter of keyboards, the hurried footsteps echoing down long, carpeted hallways. But now, in the stillness of the night, they are completely at peace. The bright overhead lights have been dimmed, leaving only the soft, ambient glow of emergency signs and the quiet, blinking lights of sleeping monitors. The air inside is still, cooled by the gentle, steady hum of the ventilation systems, a rhythmic, soothing white noise that echoes softly through the empty corridors. It is a space resting, waiting, gathering its breath before the dawn. These structures, these modern offices, are the landscapes where we spend the vast majority of our waking lives. We pour our time, our focus, and our creativity into these enclosed environments. We arrive when the morning dew is still fresh on the grass, and we often leave when the shadows have grown long and the streetlights have begun to flicker to life. In these spaces, we are entirely immersed in a world of shared goals and collective efforts. It is a unique ecosystem, a carefully designed habitat where individuals from all walks of life are brought together, placed side by side at desks, in meeting rooms, in the quiet corners of the break room, where the scent of warm, roasted coffee lingers in the air. We are placed in this proximity day after day, week after week, year after year, learning the subtle rhythms of the people around us. And because we are human, because our hearts are always quietly seeking warmth and understanding, it is only natural that deep connections begin to form. It is a beautiful, inevitable thing, the way the human spirit reaches out for companionship, even in environments built for commerce and efficiency. A shared glance across a crowded boardroom when a meeting goes on just a little too long. A quiet, reassuring smile exchanged in the hallway after a difficult morning. The gentle, easy laughter shared over a simple lunch as the rain softly taps against the wide, floor-to-ceiling windows. These small, seemingly insignificant moments accumulate over time. They weave a delicate, invisible tapestry of trust and affection, transforming a sterile workplace into a space filled with quiet, meaningful bonds. We find friends, we find mentors, and sometimes we find something more. The office romance is a phenomenon as old as the modern workplace itself. It begins so softly, so imperceptibly, that it is often difficult to say exactly when the shift occurred. Perhaps it was a lingering conversation by the elevators, or a shared project that required late evenings, working side by side under the warm circle of a single desk lamp, when the rest of the city slept outside. It is a connection born of shared experience, of truly understanding the daily rhythms, the stresses, and the triumphs of the other person's life. There is a profound comfort in being known in this way, in having someone who understands the intricacies of your day without needing a single word of explanation. It is a quiet sanctuary found in the very midst of the bustling, demanding world of work. A secret garden blooming quietly behind the glass walls. If you were to read the official employee handbooks, the carefully drafted policies and the sterile guidelines of corporate human resources, you might believe that such connections are deeply frowned upon. We are taught to view the boundary between our personal lives and our professional lives as a thick, impenetrable wall, a line that must never be crossed. We are told that romance in the workplace is a complication, a liability, a distraction from the pure, unyielding pursuit of productivity. The official narrative is one of extreme caution and professional distance. But beneath this formal exterior, beneath the rigid rules and the corporate rhetoric, there exists a much more complex, unspoken reality. A quiet truth that flows beneath the surface of the organization, like a gentle, hidden river. The truth is, in the quiet, unwritten logic of corporate architecture, companies often harbor a secret, unspoken desire for these deep connections to form. It seems entirely counterintuitive at first, in a world that so heavily prizes boundaries and efficiency, but there is a profound underlying psychology at play. When you look closely at the way modern workplaces are designed, the open floor plans meant to encourage collision, the cozy, warmly lit lounge areas, the sponsored social hours as the evening draws near, you begin to see a quiet cultivation of intimacy. Organizations, in their deepest, most silent awareness, understand the powerful, undeniable force of human attachment. They know that when our hearts are anchored to a place, when our deepest affections are intertwined with the very environment in which we work, our relationship to that space fundamentally changes, and the building becomes more than just a place to labor, it becomes a place where we belong. Imagine the morning commute, once a tedious chore, a weary march through the gray and heavy light of dawn, suddenly transformed by the quiet thrill of anticipation. When the heart has found a home within the walls of the office, the towering glass structures no longer seem imposing or cold. They become welcoming beacons in the morning sky. The soft, rhythmic hum of the elevator, the familiar, comforting scent of roasted coffee drifting through the spacious lobby, the gentle murmur of voices echoing down the hallway, all of these ordinary details are suddenly bathed in a warm, golden light. The organization, in its quiet observation, knows this. They understand that an employee who is drawn to the office by the invisible pull of affection is an employee who arrives with a lightness in their step, a quiet, enduring joy that naturally radiates through their work and into the space around them. In the restless ocean of modern employment, where turnover is a constant sweeping tide, companies search tirelessly for heavy anchors to keep their best minds from drifting away into the current. Financial incentives, promotions, and new titles. These are merely surface ripples, easily outmatched by the next passing ship. But a deeply rooted human connection, a bond forged in the quiet spaces between meetings, that is an anchor of unparalleled strength. It is incredibly difficult to walk away from a job when walking away means leaving behind the very person who makes your heart beat a little faster, the person whose mere presence turns a mundane Tuesday afternoon into something quietly magical. The company subtly becomes the silent guardian of the relationship, the indispensable, familiar stage upon which the romance is safely played out day after day. And then there is the subtle, hypnotic magic of time. In a typical workday, the clock can sometimes feel like a harsh taskmaster, its hands ticking slowly, relentlessly toward the evening hour, signaling the moment of release. But when affection blossoms within the corporate walls, the relationship with time fundamentally shifts. The harsh glare of the overhead lights seems to soften as the afternoon slowly fades into evening, and the prospect of staying late is no longer a heavy burden, but a gentle invitation. The office, once bustling and loud, quiets down, leaving only the soft tap of keyboards and the warm, blue glow of monitors in the dimming twilight. In these quiet, stolen hours, working late feels less like a sacrifice and more like a shared sanctuary. The organization watches, silently pleased, as the boundaries of the traditional workday effortlessly dissolve, replaced by an unspoken willingness to linger, to collaborate just a little longer, to simply be near one another. As the city outside grows dark. Two minds, intertwined in affection, pouring their energy into the screen before them, while the company reaps the quiet harvest of their extended, willing dedication. The physical building transforms into a cocoon of shared purpose, where the quiet rhythm of the rain against the office glass only deepens the feeling of cozy isolation. Work is, by its very nature, a landscape of challenges, a terrain sometimes filled with unexpected storms, mounting pressures, and the heavy weight of responsibility. Often, the stress of a difficult day is carried home, a heavy cloak worn through the evening, exhausting the spirit. But an office romance provides a built-in sanctuary, a secret refuge tucked away in the very eye of the storm. When frustration rises, a brief, knowing glance across a crowded conference room, a gentle, reassuring smile from across a cluster of desks, can instantly calm the turbulent waters of the mind. The couple becomes a self-soothing ecosystem, gently absorbing the shock waves of corporate stress for one another. They offer comfort in the quiet corners of the break room, whispered encouragement in the empty hallways, transforming moments of potential burnout into moments of deep, quiet connection. The organization benefits immensely from this shared resilience. They do not have to artificially manufacture emotional support because the employees are instinctively providing it for each other, buffering the harshness of the corporate machinery with the softness of human empathy. It is a brilliant, invisible tether, binding the employees not just to the tasks at hand, but to a shared emotional survival. When two people navigate the complexities of an organization together, they develop a unique shared language, a silent shorthand of nods, smiles, and quiet understandings that outsiders can never truly comprehend. The company, its sprawling projects, and its unique culture become the rich soil in which their bond takes root, deepening with every passing season. As the relationship deepens, the line between the personal and the professional becomes beautifully, irrevocably blurred. Conversations over quiet weekend dinners naturally drift back to the shared landscape of the office, the projects they are building together, the intricate, familiar dance of office dynamics they both know so well. The company ceases to be just an employer. It becomes the living backdrop of their life story. It weaves its way into their personal narrative, inextricably linking their deepest emotional memories with the brand, the building, and the work itself. They will forever remember the exact fluorescent-lit hallway where they first realized their feelings, the quiet, rainy Tuesday when they shared an umbrella on the way to a client lunch, the late-night meal they shared while finishing a massive, exhausting proposal, finding comfort only in each other's presence. These memories, soft, cherished, and deeply personal, are forever branded with the subtle watermark of the organization. The company has successfully, quietly, woven itself into the most sacred space of all, the human heart. And in return for providing the stage for this quiet, unfolding drama, the organization receives a level of dedication, harmony, and steadfast loyalty that no amount of money could ever buy. It is a delicate, unspoken symbiosis, a quiet exchange of energy and affection, flowing endlessly, peacefully through the corporate corridors. As the sun begins its slow, golden descent, the bright, energetic pulse of the office begins to quiet, giving way to the soft, velvet tones of twilight. The sharp angles of desks and doorways are softened by the fading light, casting long, gentle shadows across the carpeted floors. The daytime symphony of ringing phones, clicking keyboards, and hurried footsteps slowly dissolves, replaced by the deep, rhythmic hum of the building itself, breathing slowly, settling into the calm of the evening. It is the peaceful transition from doing to simply being, a time when the demands of the day gently release their grip, and the mind is allowed to wander freely once again. In this quiet hour, the couple finishes their work, the glow of their monitors illuminating the gentle smiles on their faces. There is no rush, no frantic race to the exits. They move with a relaxed, synchronized grace, shutting down their computers, organizing their notes, slipping quietly into their coats. As they walk together down the dimming corridor, their shoulders nearly touching, the space around them feels incredibly still, almost sacred. The office, once a bustling hub of commerce and strategy, has transformed into a quiet sanctuary, holding the warmth of their shared presence in its quiet embrace. It is a beautiful irony that structures built entirely for industry and logic ultimately become the quiet vessels for the most delicate and profound of human emotions. The organization does not need to speak of this. It does not need to acknowledge the quiet glances or the shared coffees. It merely provides the canvas, the shelter, the steady, predictable rhythm of days and weeks, knowing that the human heart will inevitably do the rest. The company rests easy in the twilight, a silent, benevolent guardian of the connections it has unknowingly nurtured, secure in the knowledge that its foundation is no longer built merely on contracts and obligations, but on the deep, unbreakable bonds of the people who walk its halls. As the couple steps into the elevator, the doors slide shut with a soft, definitive whisper, sealing the day away. The slow, smooth descent to the ground floor is a gentle decompression, a transition from the structured world of the office into the vast, open possibilities of the night. They step out into the cool evening air, joining the gentle flow of the city, carrying the warmth of the connection with them, a small, glowing ember of peace in the heart of the metropolis. Left behind, the building stands tall and silent against the darkening sky. The cleaning staff moves quietly from floor to floor, their rhythmic motions like a slow, sweeping meditation, clearing away the remnants of the day, preparing the space for a new dawn. The empty chairs are tucked neatly beneath the desks. The conference rooms sit in darkened stillness, waiting patiently. The building is at rest, its massive structure settling comfortably into the night, holding the echoes of 1,000 conversations, 1,000 shared moments, safely within its walls. Now, allow your mind to drift away from the quiet office and gently float out over the slumbering cityscape. Look out across the vast, rolling ocean of architecture, a sea of gentle lights, sparkling like fallen stars against the dark canvas of the night. Behind every glowing window in those towering glass structures, there is a story, a quiet connection, a shared moment of humanity unfolding in the quiet spaces between the work. It is a massive, intricate tapestry of lives weaving together, finding comfort, companionship, and meaning in the most unexpected of places. This is the true heartbeat of the city, not the endless pursuit of progress, but the quiet, steady rhythm of people finding each other in the stillness. And just as the city begins to quiet its mind, just as the towering buildings power down and slip into the deep, restful embrace of the night, so too can you begin to release your hold on the day. The work is done. The emails are sent. The obligations have all been met, or gently set aside for another time. There is nothing left for you to do right now. Nowhere else you need to be. No problems left to solve. The day has passed, gently folding itself into the pages of your history and leaving you here, safe, warm, and entirely at peace. Take a slow, deep breath in, drawing the quiet stillness of the night into your lungs. And as you exhale, let go of any lingering tension in your body. Allow your shoulders to drop, feeling them sink heavy and relaxed into the surface beneath you. Soften the muscles in your face, your jaw, the space between your eyes. Let the thoughts of tomorrow remain in tomorrow. They are not needed here. Here, In this quiet space, there is only the gentle rise and form of your breath, the steady, comforting rhythm of your own heartbeat, echoing the quiet, peaceful hum of the sleeping world around you. Think of your mind like that quiet, darkened office building. The busy, energetic thoughts of the day slowly powering down, one by one. The bright lights of your active mind are gently dimming, replaced by the soft, comforting glow of rest. The inner chatter is fading away into silence, leaving behind a vast, open space of tranquility. You are safe. You are secure. You are deeply and profoundly relaxed. Allow yourself to sink deeper into this feeling of profound comfort. Let the boundaries of the day dissolve entirely, washing away like a retreating tide, leaving behind nothing but the smooth, untouched sand of your quietest thoughts. The world outside will continue its slow, steady rotation. The buildings will wait patiently for the dawn, but for now, you are free to drift. Drift away from the waking world, away from the structures and the schedules, moving slowly and beautifully into the boundless landscapes of your dreams. Let the heavy, comforting blanket of sleep wrap gently around you, holding you safe, holding you warm. There is only peace here, only quiet, only the deep, restorative stillness of the night. Breathe in the calm. Breathe out the day. Let go, completely and entirely. Drift into the silence. Drift into the peace. Drift gently, softly, into deep, restful, beautiful sleep.